Section 1, a new sheriff in town, the EU AI Act. Right, so the EU, never wants to shy away from a good regulation, have gone and done it again. They've brought in this new law, the AI Act, to keep an eye on all the fancy artificial intelligence popping up. Now you might be thinking, what's that got to do with building sites? And fair enough, it's not like we're talking robot overlords laying bricks just yet. But hold on, because this AI thing is starting to make its presence felt even in the mud and concrete world of construction. Think about it. Drones flying overhead to survey sites, algorithms crunching numbers to design buildings, even machines that can spot a dodgy bit of welding. That's all AI dipping its toes into the construction pool. Now, the EU AI Act is like the lifeguard at that pool. It's there to make sure everything's above board, that the technology is safe, reliable, and doesn't decide to knock off early for a pint. They've even got different risk categories depending on how much potential there is for things to go haywire. Sensible, right? After all, you wouldn't want your self-driving cement mixer taking a sudden detour to the chipper van. This act isn't just some bureaucratic paper-pushing exercise either. It's got real teeth. Companies that don't play by the rules could be facing hefty fines, enough to make even a seasoned developer wince. And look, it's not like we haven't seen the dangers of cutting corners in construction before. Remember the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Exactly. So maybe a bit of regulation isn't a bad thing after all. Section 2, building sites of the future. So how is this AI thing actually going to change the game for builders? Well, imagine this. You stroll onto a building site, and instead of the usual cacophony of noise and chaos, there's a well-organized ballet of efficiency. Robots and humans working side by side, each playing to their strengths. Drones flitting about like over-caffeinated pigeons, delivering materials with pinpoint accuracy. No more waiting around for the lad with the cement mixer to turn up, no siree. And it's not just about efficiency. AI can also help make construction safer. Think about those jobs that are inherently risky. Working at heights in confined spaces around heavy machinery. Robots don't get tired, they don't get distracted by the latest G-Dole scores, and they don't mind a bit of dust. So, they can take on those hazardous tasks, leaving us humans to do what we do best. Supervise, innovate, and make sure the tea break happens on time. But it's not all sunshine and roses. This brave new world of AI construction does come with its challenges. For starters, there's the small matter of training up the workforce. Now, I'm all for embracing new technology, but you can just picture the looks on the faces of some of the older lads when you tell them they need to learn to program a robot. You'd have more luck teaching a badger to play the bodhran. Section 3. We've heard it all before, an Irish perspective. Now, you might think that all this talk of robots and AI is a bit far-fetched for the Irish construction industry. But we've always been a resourceful bunch, quick to adapt and find a way around any obstacle. I mean, have you ever seen a man build a stone wall on a hill in gale-force winds? That's practically an art form in itself. So I've no doubt we'll find a way to make this AI thing work for us. Besides, it's not like we're strangers to technological advancements. Remember the advent of the JCB? Revolutionized the building site, it did. No more digging foundations with a shovel and a prayer. And let's not forget the power float, that marvel of engineering that can make a concrete floor smoother than a pint of Guinness on a hot day. So AI is just the next logical step, really. And you know what? There's something quite Irish about the whole thing. We've always been good at storytelling, at weaving tales and myths, and AI? That's just another form of storytelling using data instead of words. So instead of telling tales around a peat fire, we'll be gathering around the server rack, sharing stories about the time the AI accidentally ordered 10,000 tons of sand instead of 10. It'll be grand. Section 4, a glimpse over the horizon. Now, I'm not saying that we'll be living in houses built entirely by robots anytime soon, but the future of construction is definitely looking a lot more high-tech. Imagine buildings that can adapt to your needs, changing their layout or even their temperature at the touch of a button. Imagine bridges that can monitor their own structural integrity, alerting engineers to potential problems before they even arise. It's enough to make your head spin like a pint of Guinness after a long day on the building site. And who knows what other wonders await us in this brave new world of AI construction. Perhaps we'll see self-erecting scaffolding, or maybe even buildings that can repair themselves. Now, wouldn't that be a sight to behold? No more builders hanging precariously off ladders, just a team of robots quietly getting the job done. It'll be enough to make a health and safety inspector weep with joy, but even with all this technology, there's one thing that will never change about the construction industry, the crack, because at the end of the day, it's the people who make a building site what it is. The camaraderie, the banter, the shared cups of tea and tales of near misses, and no amount of AI is ever going to replace that, because some things, as they say, are just built that way. Section 5. So, are we building Skynet? Now, I know what you're thinking. All this talk of robots and AI taking over, it's enough to make your hair stand on end. Are we building Skynet here? Is this the beginning of the robot uprising? Will I be applying for a job as a bricklayer to a robot overlord in the near future? Well, I'm no Nostradamus, but I think we're safe for now. After all, have you ever tried getting a robot to make a decent cup of tea? It's a disaster, absolute carnage. But seriously, the future of AI and construction is a complex one, full of possibilities and potential pitfalls. It's up to us, the humans, to make sure that we use this technology responsibly and ethically, to make sure that it benefits everyone, not just the robots. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back on all of this and laugh. We'll reminisce about the days when we used to worry about robots taking our jobs, while sipping a perfectly brewed cup of tea made by our trusty robot butler. But until then, I'll stick to building my arguments with words. Thank you very much. Because when it comes to telling a good story, there's no algorithm that can replace the human touch. And besides, someone's got to keep an eye on these robots, make sure they don't get any ideas above their station. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a bridge to design. Out of words, not microchips, mind you. We're not quite there yet.